was interesting about Jesus in a great book that I read recently, I actually had my Book and Bourbon Club read it as well, was The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry.
I've kind of started asking everybody this, but do you have a definition of leadership?
So I've leaned towards a couple different definitions. And because it's a great question that you're asking everyone, because everyone's definition will be different. That being said, as I stated earlier, my definition is following Jesus as an example. You know what's interesting about, and then the secondary one that I use is John Maxwell's, which is leadership as influence. And Jesus was the greatest example of influence. But what was interesting about Jesus in a great book that I read recently, I actually had my Book and Bourbon Club read it as well, was The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry.
My man.
That being said, it had some great principles in there. And one of the things that really made it clear on is like Jesus was never in a hurry. He was always purposeful, but we never read a passage where Jesus was sprinting somewhere. And so he was talking about a lot in our lives and just being kind, being intentional, being purposeful, being true to the word and being leading by example, like all the things Jesus did. But the one thing he didn't do was hurry. And
Interesting.
how much hurry do we have in our lives? How much are we speeding from one thing to the next?
Mm.
And just kind of reflecting on that, where can we slow down and be better and more intentional and more purposeful in our lives?